Okay. Hey, what's up, world? It's your boy G Trump, everybody, favorite Big Daddy, the voice of the street, man. And today we in the courtroom, y'all. We go over a case that I had already talked about, the case of Henry Dinkins, y'all. He killed the little girl Brianna. And God, it's crazy to think about this. I had almost forgot about it, but they got back to him real quick. But I want y'all to pull it up and see. When I tell you body language talk without you speaking, man, he's sitting in court like he really don't give a damn. And they give him a chance to say his last words. And it's no remorse. All he doing is attacking the court, the state, saying what they did. They found you guilty, bro. And I ain't saying they don't lie and twist things up. Yeah, they do that, y'all. But when it ain't nothing for them to find, they can't. Now, yeah, they can beat you sometime and make you confess. Yeah, people have went to jail for that. But we talking about nowadays, y'all. And when you got so much evidence, this child was at your house. See, this the thing that really gets me, y'all. When Henry went to pick his son up, and the little girl asked, "Can she go?" Grandmama said, "No, y'all." She said, "No." Man, I wish you'd have stood on it, but she didn't know. She said no. So the little boy got all his stuff, and he finna go have fun. She's standing there looking like, damn, she gonna be by herself. So when the little boy runs out, he like, "Come on, Bree," and she just ran on out the door. Grandmama didn't want to be dirty and be like, "Bring your ass back here, girl." She said, "Fuck it." She wanna go. She told her mama. Mama got off work and still allowed her to stay there. Mama took the girl some clothes. They said bye, and she went on back in there and they was playing, right? Now, when I went over this case, I listened to a lot of this shit. The part that really also irritated me about this case is Henry goddamn girlfriend. I don't care if you scared of a nigga or not. If you got a guy coming to spend the night at your house and he got his son, ain't no way you tell me you looked out the window at 3 in the morning, seen him out there with this little girl, and you didn't stop it. It wasn't nothing good finna happen to that little girl at 3 in the morning with a grown ass man who ain't even her daddy. And he left his son at home though. And then you can't even get in the mind of these pedophiles because you say, "Damn, you was laying next to a woman, bro." But that ain't what he want. His mind thinking on that little girl. That's crazy. And then to do all he did to her and then killed her. That's sad, y'all. This is really sad. Listen to what this motherfucker had to say. Now, I ain't gonna play it too long. I'm gonna play a nice amount, y'all.
What are you supposed to do when you're told you can't even speak in court, especially when you see and know something ain't right? Logistically, it's like having a gag order, which prevents you from addressing the court with any of the issues. What if your issues are with the judge, the prosecutor, or the attorney? You are not allowed to put anything on record. at any time of these issues during the court proceedings, unless it's asked the question of the judge, prosecutor, or your attorney. What happened to the rights of freedom of speech if a person addressed a matter to the court in the proper proceedings? Even if it's in the same spectrum as if your attorney or your prosecutor are addressing the courts or any issues. Your Honor, may I speak to the courts? There are so many various issues people might have at different times of the court proceeding. I believe these issues could be, I believe if these issues could be resolved between client and counsel, then there wouldn't be a problem. But that's not always the case. I'm only going to speak right now because this is my only opportunity to address the court during the closing of this trial, which is kind of too late for me. Even if you do ask your attorney to ask certain questions, sometimes things don't get done. I have a speech that I would like to address the courts with if the judge allowed me the opportunity to say the following. Let me address the facts about everything regarding my case. First, I want to know if I can quote case numbers or just saying the same, either or will be fine to me. Where is the justice in the judicial system, and how do you beat a system that is against you that's not playing fair? When I was in Clinton County Jail, I remember 2 detectives coming to charge me with this case. I remember to speak facts. To be honest, I was already found guilty before this case and trial already began. I can see it as racial profiling behind my background. I'm saying this because how everything played out from the beginning all the way up to now. I contemplated over the moves that the state used to hinder my career to fit their benefits. First, they blast my name widespread coverage, negatively nonstop on the news, in the papers, and all over social media, and even on posters. This made me vulnerable towards animosity towards the public and guaranteed people to have a bad image of me in their thoughts. So if I chose a jury trial, this pretty much polluted their thoughts about the type of person they wanted to image me as. And all this went global for their support. Now I'm guaranteed not to get a fair jury selection for trial, and even if I chose a bench trial, it would be sealed with a guilty verdict. So where is the equal liberty and justice in the system when you're being railroaded? By the police, the detectives, and others working hand in hand. It really don't take no rocket scientists to see through this magnetic picture. Through these series of events, I know I've been railroaded, so either way, the state had the odds in their favor. The state produced 900 exhibits offered into evidence. I can honestly say I've only seen 35 exhibits before this trial, but I was given 665 exhibits during trial to have for my record. I never had the opportunity to look over 90% of any of this for preparation for trial, but this includes footages as well. So this is what the courts have to offer me. All this was new to me during trial, but I believe the 700 exhibits offered was the shortcut. I believe there are others that the state didn't provide, allowing the defendant preparation for trial by deception by deception. So once again, where is the equal injustice in the judicial system when you're told you can't speak, especially when you see the state ain't playing fair? I do remember being transferred from Davenport to Clinton County Jail behind the bad publicized coverage. I remember a couple of things taking place while I was being there. First, I asked for a change of venue behind the negative news. I also made the comment, man, they're never going to find her because it's been quite some time. As the time progressed, that even made it even slimmer. I also was going to represent myself because all the attorneys that the state was providing wasn't doing nothing in my case. So I just wasn't about to do nothing as well. So I at least was going to try to attempt pro se. When I seen the judge, he made the comment saying, I have no problem opposing this time on you. You need to reconsider your decision because you're facing some real serious charges. When I seen the look in the judge's eyes, I knew then I had to get a jury trial. But through the news coverage and the news confirming this I know I had to get a jury trial, but through the news press coverage confirming this verdict with the high profile in this murder case. So my chances of winning even with a jury trial was slim, even with
Y'all see how
slim,
quiet
and
it is?
if you don't have the right attorney, it's even slimmer. I was told by a buddy that if you have this case heard or in any remote area where this is being televised, you would be found guilty, and this was by the state's own officials that uphold the law. So once again, where is the equal liberty and justice by for the system for all? This racism this racism do run deep in the Iowa system for people of color, which I'm not only talking blacks. I know whites also have the same problem as well, but I'm but it's more common for the people for men of color. This but the profile racism I'm dealing with is behind my background. And almost 75% of their news coverage, they mention my background or something in regards of that nature. If I didn't have that, I would have never got charged. When I was in Marshall County, before this trial began, here they go again, sliding negative news coverage of my background a week or so before my jury selection was about to begin. I said something to my attorney, which all he said was, there's nothing we can do about that. I made my mind up that if they're not going to play fair and I can't get a fair jury selection, I should just take my case back to Davenport. Once I was transferred to Cedar Rapids County Jail, before my trial, the day of my trial, here they was again mentioning my name on the news again. I really don't know a lot about the laws, but I know enough when I see a lot of my constitutional rights being violated from the beginning up to now. Through this racial profile, the state and others have shown ambiguous behaviors that stalk constantly through these drawn lines. But what can you do when you're told you're not allowed to speak? I can only play with what's provided by the courts and the state's rules. Me and my family tried to contact my attorney on several different occasions, which I was told that he was working on the other client's case. To you, Judge Latham, you handpicked my attorney. I went through 3 different attorneys, but the handpicked one was my last option. I'm not going to bash my counsel because I know he personally did more than the Davenport public pretenders. But I know he overlooked some things in my case. I'm not quite understanding how I wasn't given 665 exhibits or seen any footages before this trial. He did make me believe he was going to raise these issues, but I never seen nothing come forward. I've asked several times, but was told you have nothing to worry about. I was being bamboozled by the blind side while nothing was being introduced or brought to the surface. I really don't know if this would have made it different because the judge was just looking for any reasons to get this verdict. I can truly say after hearing the judge's remark and while I was in Clinton and Cedar Rapids, the judge's demeanor spoke real clear to me of the courts, which made me realize that I never had a chance to win from the beginning. So once again, where is the justice in the judicial system when you see the judge in his own personal emotion, then you hear the judge say that everything made against you, he find credible, then tell you everything you said is a lie and untruthful, even when they know they lied. I do understand the power of the pen, especially when the power of authority is being abused behind watchful seers. I do wish situations were different, but the state has played dirty when they know they didn't have anything on me while I was their easiest target behind my background. I would have to say this is overwhelming, but I have to stay focused and grounded. I have more hurdles that I have to jump through, but I have to take things one step at a time. For those who believe this fight is over, guess what? Through my resilience, you will see me at the next checkpoint, God willing. My main focus is getting back home, but where is home after all this? Where is home? But right now, I have to stay focused on what's more important. I'm only able to play with what's provided by help from those who are watchful seers as well. I know the court has played unfair towards me. I played this scenario numerous times in my head trying to figure this out. but I keep coming up with the same answer. You never had a chance from the beginning. So I say this to you, Judge Layden. What if you would have found me? What if you would have never found me guilty and found me innocent? What would have been the outcome from their perspective? Everybody have to report to somebody, but God is the final ultimate judge. I do forgive those who made past judgments against me unknowingly. Never once have the courts asked me about anything of the clothing or the shoes or during any of these allegations. I honestly believe that these items are not important, but it was just giving the state more ammunition to point a finger negativity towards me. Just like me not opening Andrea's door with my key to allow the police to walk into her residence. I don't have them rights for that. I don't pay no bills at her apartment to allow anyone access to her place. I didn't give no approval for her place for that. I didn't give no approval for a place that's not my place of authority to do. On the footage, I told him I checked, and he said, let's check. And then lied and said I told Andrea, and then he lied and said I said it was okay for him to go into Andrea's house.
I remember that. Something about that police who.
But I will have to say the video do speak for itself. I will have to say there was one person's statement that was consistent from the initial report to deposition to trial, and that was Miss Gardner, Aisha's mom. I do recall her talking to Aisha before I left with the kids, or I would have never left with either kid. I'm still stumped about 900 exhibits plus, and I'm saying plus because I've only received 700 and the state knows that the ones that would have set me free, they used deception and sabotage, but made a mistake by giving me 665 exhibits during trial to go through and to cipher through after trial. I know I was given 665 because I counted them, which I've already had 35 before this trial, and which gives me 700 in total, except for the ones I gave my attorney when the state moved them exhibits to move things into mobile to fit their exhibits. I need that letter back, Chad, if you don't mind, the one that I gave you pertaining to Aisha. If I had 120 footage of video with 80% showing nothing, I can make a story up about any vehicle or make anything appear where I want it to be, especially if I'm able to take what I want to produce and the rest of it, produce the rest where, let's see, my bad. Especially if I don't want to. Okay, and not produce the rest where nothing else is being presented but what I want the world to see. I know that they didn't give my attorney that information as well. I'm the one who said that I went to the quick shop, which was used against me. I'm the one who said that me and my son stopped by the mobile, which was used against me. If I would have got on the stand, you would have probably found a reason to use that against me as well. The only reason why you didn't use my son's statements saying he seen me kill his sister, it would have made every lie truthful. It would have made everybody lies untruthful, which you couldn't have that. So I say once again, where is the justice and the equal liberty in the system? Why wasn't Andrea's initial statement video played? There. They played mine, they played Aisha's, they played DL's, and they played Jared's. I know the state, I know and the state know that Andrea's initial video recording says something totally different. That's why they didn't show them contents or produce that video, which I'm not quite understanding why my counsel didn't bring that forward as well. I'm not even sure if he even had that information because I've never seen any footages of what the public saw during trial. I can speak for days about what happened, but since my attorney didn't bring up any issues on motions, what are my chances now? Even Jared's statement are twisted up. But like I said, anything the court can use to find his verdict guilty.
You reading on the same paper, you turn it over.
There it is, right there in the eyes of the public, racial profiling. When I was given them exhibits, I wrote the court during this trial saying with urgent attention, quoting case documents, law from the Iowa Law Book of Iowa Rules of Criminal Procedure, stating the following items and its reasons, but once again, it was overlooked by saying, I'm going to give both parties that information. You have to talk with your attorney. I know I'm not allowed to put case numbers, but I sent the statement of the following items of evidence in possession or control or are necessary for preparation for the defendant to inspect copies, photos, or exhibits that the state intend to offer into evidence at trial or belonging to the defendant. From the law book, I sent consequences of failure to make disclosure of discovery, failure to disclose supplements or of early responders to admit, failure to disclose or supplement. If a party fails to provide information or identify a witness as required by the Rule 1.5, the party is not allowed to use that information or witness to supply evidence on a motion or at a hearing or at a trial, unless the failure was substantially justified or harmless. It also says, if in disclosure of expert testimony, if a party must disclose to the other party of any witness, it is also expert testimony. A party must disclose to the other party identity of any witness the party may use at trial to present evidence under rules of evidence, saying any exhibits that will be used to summarize or support the opinion. Are also some ground for vacating or modifying judgment and material evidence newly discovered which could not be reasonably diligently have been discovered and produced at trial with official comments in Act 1943 federal practice. I'm only able to do what I can just to be rejected or overlooked once again by everybody. When you ask your counsel when will certain things be brought up and he tells you through other witness, but it's misleading of your counsel when he knows that the state is going to rest and there is no more witness to raise the issue, but he tells you different. But you are not allowed to speak during trial.
Got quiet this, y'all.
My dearest son, you know I love you with all my heart. I know everybody distorted your thoughts where you're trying to figure things out in your own head. I'm sorry that you had to deal with all this abuse from those who made you lie about all these stories. I know you remember me, you and Bree counting money on the mattress up to $2,000. I was so proud of you because you was a fast learner. I know you are mad because you believe I lost your sister, but guess what? Your dad ain't mad at you behind the lies. I love you more than the lies. I know one day you will tell the truth, but even if you don't, I'll still love you regardless. Miss Culberson, I also respect your initial report in your deposition, but somewhere along this course, your whole story changed like 360. I'm not sure what took place or what type of situation you might be in, but something made you spiral from out of the normal. You know I've never been violent towards you or showed any aggression. I've only been protective of you. That's why I was kind of surprised by the statements you made, which kind of had me thrown off the loop. Just please give my things to my family, and I'll leave it at that. Aisha, you said something in your deposition that caught my attention.
That's the baby mom.
You said you wrote me 15 letters from the beginning of this case. Well, it's sad to say, but I believe I might have only got 2 letters that slipped through the crack that they didn't catch. They took them letters before I even had a chance to receive them.
Yeah.
That was their intentions, to have you turn against me. That way it makes it easy for them to point a finger. I even gave this letter to my attorney. But the only time that I was able to contact you, and that's when I was in Clinton, I text you. I know you remember because you kept asking me, who is this? I never said who I was. I even text your mom number as well. I will have to say your initial and depositions are totally different from your trials, straight the opposite. which I know them people played a factor as well in that. So just for the records of the court, I wasn't in any shape prepared in addition for this trial. My resilience will continue to keep me focused and peaceful during these hard moments. I do have determination that through these challenges, I believe in the very definition of faith. My faith ignites hope in my heart to overcome these trials and tribulations. Right now, I'm the underdog rising through these misfortunes. I have to stay strong through this predicament. My God taught me failure isn't final. Your fight is only over when you throw in the towel. What initiate champions? The Almighty. My endurance is built strong like never before. My joy is beyond any experience I ever imagined. I will overcome this. I am encouraged that a power far beyond my physical ability will appear and give me spiritual armor through this fight of lies with truth that will set me free.
Who's coming here? Let's see if this like for this off the court.
Now that was long. That was long. Y'all notice how he didn't show no remorse? He ain't saying, I want to find the real killer that really took this little girl away. I'm sad she gone. I mean, I guess he's sitting there like, what can he say when he know he guilty, man? Okay, whatever it is, that's terrible there. But then the mama got up and she had something to say. And let me see if I can run that back to y'all. Since we're listening, we're listening, y'all. Let's see what mama got to say. Hers is a little quicker than his, though. But let's see what mama say, y'all.
Room would you like to address the court?
Your Honor, let me see. I think she's probably, is she coming back?
Yeah,
She's coming back, Your Honor.
okay.
Ms. Langford, are you ready to make your statement?
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Let
Lady,
mama
I
say
might
what she
ask
has to
that
say.
you have the witness stands. I think that would be easier, please.
No, another ad. But what if this ad,
y'all.
like literally this exact ad, could make...
I got nothing to say about how mama feel, grieve, or anything, because you don't know. You ain't lost a child, so I don't have an opinion on nothing. I can't say she should have said this or that. She said what she wanted to say. Just listen.
Ms. Langford, you may proceed if you would just please state your name and spell your name for my court report.
Okay, my name is Aisha, spelled Aishia, Langford, Lankford.
You may proceed.
All right. Your Honor, my name is Aisha Langford, as I said before, mother of Briasia Terrell. Before I continue, I'd like to thank the court for providing me the opportunity for me to speak today. July 9th, 2020, exactly 3 years ago, since the last time I saw my baby girl. When I dropped her clothes off for her in DL after I got off work and showered and headed over to the Jersey Ridge Apartments complex. Once I got outside the complex, Briasia running out smiling as she always does, a smile that can light up a room, any room. We spoke for a few minutes while she held her dog, Chloe. She said she loved me, and I watched her run around to the apartment complex while her lovely locks bounced away around 6:30-ish. Those are my last words with my baby girl. So I wrapped my mental around her face. Her last words, she said to me, the amount of pain I felt and feel that no mom should ever have to feel, because man, that stuff hurts real bad in a different spot. I didn't even know it existed until you, Henry Dinkins, changed that for me. Broke my trust and emotions I had the day you took my baby girl from me and just gunned her down like she was nothing and left her and never said a word at all. It's really painful that a statement could bring so much anger. I have a number of questions for you, Henry Dinkins, surrounding that night that played through my mind every day. Did she want me? Was she scared? Did she see those gunshots coming? Did you shoot her while she was trying to get away? Did she scream for help? Did she beg you to stop? Did you see in her face when she realized she was shot the first time? What was her last words? Did you stay and watch my baby die? How long did she suffer? Did you watch the life leave from her beautiful hazel eyes? What did you do to my son? Why? Do you know the answers to any of these questions I asked, huh? Henry Dinkins, why you sit in this courtroom as if this shit don't hurt you? Watching you during these proceedings. That isn't right. You sit there with smiles and chatter during sensitive things and then tried to speak to me when you never once spoke to me after July 14th, 2020. You remember. When I saw you in Scott County Jail telling me you didn't do this, but why you haven't said nothing then? Why? Henry Dinkins, closure doesn't exist here in this case. Justice doesn't exist here in this case. You didn't just take away my baby's life, you didn't just take away my baby's life, you took away everything from me. My family's sense of security, laughs, health, and potential. Potential for Breasia to be someone's wife. The potential to be a mother, a college graduate, prom, everything. Oh, my baby girl, Henry. I went from believing I wasn't the best mom, but made things happen, but best I could, to downing myself day in and day out as what kind of person am I not to have protected my daughter? I've broken myself down many a times over and over, analyzing text messages, calls, and conversations about everything, trying to figure out what I could have done differently. I watched my oldest son completely lose his childhood and be the cast of being the man of the house for me because I was truly broken the day I got the call stating they found my daughter. I'll never forget, March 22nd, 2021, around 7:30 p.m. So they told me they had information I had been waiting on. So that night my tummy was in knots and all I did was cry and I held my pillow so tight trying to hurry the night fall so I could get up so I could rush the kids to school and get on that highway near DeWitt, March 23rd, 2021. Once I got out there, it was a feeling I can't even describe because it was the snuggle on my heart. Mentally, I was going insane because that was a different feeling in my body I wasn't used to. I kept myself covered from the media footage that was other while I shed so many tears inside because I couldn't describe that my daughter lay behind those squad cars and big RV man. I couldn't do nothing to save her. All I got a glimpse of. All I got was a glimpse of a damn blue bag, man, that crushed my whole soul. I promise, broke me down and still am. And my son commit to every hurt need I need and still does. I watched my youngest baby become unrecognizable. At times with the amount of anger he sits and holds to from this trauma you put him through. He's so hurt, he has no idea how to even understand or even cope with the loss of his best friend, partner in crime, his sister who helped him through so much of his life. He would too overcome this and gain himself back and be somebody. He will not be what you have put him through or even made him sit through. We are suffering from so much with anxiety and depression at the top of our list. I can't work at times because all the trauma on top of the world of things I encounter at most jobs, the social media crap pushed me into a shell I haven't been able to shake quite yet. Our lives changed. 3 years went past us with no stops, right before our eyes. And here we are in this courtroom seeking the justice she deserved so she could be laid to rest properly. Still yet, this all feel like a movie. I haven't changed the channel to because this can't just be it. Like, that's all. That's the piece that sinks in, still hurt. Because I thought hearing you get a life sentence with no possibility of parole will help me sleep at night. And it just doesn't. Because she didn't have to be gunned down like that, nor left like that. Out there like she was just trash. She didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve to have her lifeless remains shown across the TVs. Like she did. She did a Henry Dinkins. So whatever you get won't be enough because your family get to come to see you. And my baby is just that, just gone. And never, ever, ever coming back. As she left me July 9th, 2020. Peace, understanding, and forgiveness will never come. I also truly hope what you did to her will haunt you for the rest of your life. I'll hold on to those good memories we shared in not how you left her and how she laid across that damn creepy swamp place thing where you left her and said not one word. How could you? How could you be such a monster, Henry? I am thankful for the justice for Breasia Terrell and my baby boy.
Thank you.
That's mama, y'all. That's mama. I ain't gonna say nothing like she could have been more compassionate and hurt. She said what she said, y'all. And that's it. That's how she feel. You know, it's been 3 years since this happened. Don't seem like it. She said 3 years. I'm like, damn. I remember covering it. It must have been, they chased them a year. Well, not chased them, but you know what I mean. The trial lasted a little while. That was just last year we went to the trial, but this had happened, you know, a little while before they took him to trial. But he's still sitting up there like he don't give a fuck, y'all. He blaming the court, and I just don't know what could be on a person's mind like that. You know, I know, you know what they say, y'all. I don't care. You can be smart and everything, but common sense go a long damn way. Some of these people, they do not have no common sense, and that make them real stupid when they fighting these cases. I know he didn't think he was gonna get away with taking this woman's child. He had custody of her all night. He go kill her. And do you know he had the nerve to call her the next day and ask her where the girl was at? And she like, what you mean? Where she at? She was at your damn house. He said she left. But like I say, in all this, what makes me mad is the fact his girlfriend did not show no balls and say, Henry, bring that damn girl back in here. What the fuck are you and her going at 3 in the morning? 3 in the morning. She's supposed to ran out there and got that little girl. Hell no. If you ain't taking all them, you ain't taking nobody. And you ain't doing it at no 3 in the morning. You wait till the sun come up and then do that. But you know, they say if it was a fifth, we'll all be drunk. I was just thinking of something, you know, sometimes you can see people and they don't look like what they've been through. That's the thought came to mind when I seen the mama on the stand. I'm like, damn, she don't look like what she been through. If you ain't never lost a child, y'all, you don't know the feeling. Trust me, it never, and I mean never, go away. I dated a woman who lost a child. She lost Not only one, she lost two and a baby daddy. 3 people close to her she was grieving for. Might have been a few years apart, but she never heals. Whenever birthdays come up, anniversary dates, it's a feeling you cannot take away. That pain, you can't take away. That's crazy, y'all. Anyway, I just wanted y'all to hear that, man. It's your boy G Shrimp, everybody. Faith, baby daddy, voice of the street. I'm going to plant you 9 dick later. I'm out of here.